film is built on creativity, but it's also built on technology. When I started this project, I didn't realize how many tools, physical and digital, I would have to learn just to create a 2-minute opening. By the end of the technology process, it became one of my most important parts in making the filmmaking. My main piece of hardware was my phone camera. At the beginning of the year, I treated it like a regular phone, point, shoot, done. But throughout this project, I learned how to use it like an actual filmmaking tool. I experimented with exposure settings, focus lock, and frame rate. I learned how to stabilize shots using a tripod and how to create smoother movement by bracing the camera against furniture on my body. Lighting became another huge part of my hardware learning. I used lamps, overhead lights, and even natural light from windows to create a high contrast black and white look that I wanted. I learned how to block the light with blankets, how to bounce it off the walls, and how to use shadows intentionally. I didn't use a professional microphone. I wanted to, but I learned how to control sound by recording in quiet spaces, reducing background noise, and adjusting audio levels during editing. The biggest software I used was Wondershare Formula 15. At the start of the year, I didn't know how to do anything beyond cutting clips. By the end, I learned how to keyframe movement, adjust color curves, use audio ducking, and create smooth transition. I also used Canva to design my poster and mood board. I learned how to layer images, adjust transparency, and use typographic to match the words. Google Drive became my organizational tool, storing draft screenshots and footage. Blogger was where I documented my process, uploaded evidence, and reflected on my decisions. YouTube was one of my biggest online tools. I used it for research, studying lighting techniques, horror conventions, and editing tutorials. It became my unofficial teacher. At the beginning of the year, my footage was leaky, shaky, overexposed, and unplanned. I didn't understand how to control lighting around and make a shot look intentional. By the end, my shots were framed with purpose. I used rule of thirds, negative space, and shadows to create tension. I learned how to adjust brightness and contrast in Filmora to get the exact black and white look I wanted. Now, also editing improved dramatically. Early in the year, my cuts were rough and my pacing was uneven. Now I can build rhythm, create suspense, and use sound design to enhance emotion. If I showed a before and after comparison, the difference would be oblivious. Before, flat lighting, shaky camera, no color control. After, controlled shadows, stable framing, intentional contrast. This project taught me that technology isn't just a tool, it's part of the storytelling. Lighting creates mood, editing creates pacing, sound creates emotion, and software brings everything together. I learned that even simple tools can create cinematic results if you understand how to use them. A film camera can look professional with the ring lighting. A free editing program can create tension with the right pacing. The hardest technology to learn was color grading. Getting the black and white look right took a lot of trial and error. Sometimes the film looked flat, other times too harsh. But learning is how to adjust curves and exposure taught me how powerful color correction really is. Next time I would use external microphone for cleaner audio and experiment with more advanced lighting equipment. I'd also like to learn about a more professional editing program like Premiere Pro. In the end, technology didn't just help me make a film, it helped me become a filmmaker. I'm leaving class with a real technical skill, real confidence, and a deeper understanding of how hardware, software, and online tools come together to create a meaning on the screen.